FCA Huddle at East, the football huddle. My roots started with Bible study at East High with my brothers, with football players. And so then when my nephew started attending East High and wanted to do the same thing, I'd done it with his father when he was a senior, and then just thought it would be a great idea, and talked to Tim and asked if it was possible to have a team huddle, and he said yes. And so we chartered it with the school district and with the school, and we got it going. And the idea was we had a team dinner, and then after dinner we had a speaker, and because it was an FCA huddle, you could talk openly about Christ. But what we found is for the players, that the biggest thing is they were already close as a team, physically and mentally a lot of times, but what the huddle did is we're three-dimensional beings, and it brought the spiritual aspect into it, which really had a family feel to it, and it made us even more of a family. And it just was breaking bread together, and that the Word of God and breaking bread together. There's something special about that. In fact, if you look at families that eat together, there's statistics about how much more healthy those families are. And even for a sports team, it just made us even healthier when we were clicking physically, mentally, and spiritually together. And I feel like that's what the huddle has done. A lot of times the only spiritual food these guys might get during the week is at the team chapel, at the FCA huddle. And so it's been even more than what any of us ever dreamed it could be.
How did you start it? I mean, when you first started it, how did you get it going?
Well, I approached the head coach to see if he would be open to the idea of an FCA huddle. And he had questions. Well, will it be registered with the school? Will it be an official? And I said, yeah, I could do all that. So then my next was to talk to Tim Brotherton, the regional FCA director, to make sure that we could charter that as a team huddle and all that, he was very accommodating, got all that done. And so first went to the head coach to see if it was a possibility.
Did you see any impact on players because of the chapel?
Oh yeah, I think that just little things, it's even language, attitude, when they know it's chapel, they think about God more than they would if there was no chapel during the week for the team. And so they're thinking about spiritual things, where most of the time they're thinking about X's and O's and getting in, being in top. And it's so, since it is a Christian huddle, it's not a requirement, and the team members know they won't be penalized, but because it has such a family atmosphere to it, it's more of like missing a family thing than a spiritual thing. And so none of the guys miss, and it's they want to be there, and it's not just for the food, it's what we call a fellowship too. And we passed out FCA Bibles one week, and we thought, wow, I don't know, we might get some negative backlash from some of the parents. And one of the parents posted after that the coaches at my son's high school care about them more than anybody, because they gave them the greatest gift that someone can give, the Word of God. And I got really fired up about that. I got emotional about that. Here I was expecting negative backlash, and all the response we got is positive. Doesn't mean you won't get some negative. There could be some, and we just deal with that as it comes. But to this point, there hasn't been any.
Talk about how long ago did the chapel start?
It's been 5 years. This is the 5th year.
And I know God doesn't pick sides, but what's been your record during this time?
Well, we've done pretty well. 3 state championships, lost in the playoffs last year, and this year we're 3-0, ranked 2nd in the state. But that's a lot of hard work, and as long as God's number one in our hearts, the other stuff seems to fall in place. But we've been fortunate